440 BC, an audience of up to 12,000 Athenians crowded into a special building made of wood on the slopes of the Acropolis. They had come to enjoy a newish art form, one that, in a modern definition, repeated human experiences with small changes, or, as we say today, dramatic performances, plays. At one point the audience heard a chorus of male performers impersonating old men sing out this verse: "Wonders are many, and none is more formidable than humankind." Even in translation from ancient Greek, these words of the playwright, the Athenian Sophocles, seemed extraordinary. In a world full of superhumans, the dramatist's line concedes nothing to the powers of legendary figures or to gods. Instead, its author understands civilization as a human creation. As the chorus next explained, humans had taught themselves how to hunt and fish, how to tame wild animals and yoke them in order to till the soil and grow crops, how to sail the seas, communicate by speech, build homes, live in communities, and ward off at least some diseases. This Greek idea of a cultural ascent of man from primal beginnings, achieved by human capacity alone, may strike us as modern. It channeled the revolutionary new ways of thinking about human nature emerging in parts of the Greek world in the 500s and the 400s BC. Today we turn to archaeologists, along with various other experts of the kind whose disciplines start with the prefix paleo, to reconstruct humankind's early steps towards cultural complexity. The ancient Greeks never developed the tools, conceptual or practical, for this kind of investigation. For centuries, they lived with two essentially incompatible explanations of cultural origins. One emphasized superhuman intervention, the other humankind's innate capacities. The gifts of sea crops to the primitive Athenians included two common criteria of what we mean by civilization today: city life and writing. The Greeks had a word for this state, hemerotes. Civilization is a common translation. The core sense is tameness, closely allied to notions of gentle or humane behavior. To Greeks, the opposite was wildness, of raw nature but also of humans. Unlike many city dwellers today, the ancient Greeks lived close to wild nature. This was more than a matter of, say, urban foxes and seagulls. In the 300s BC, lions still roamed northern Greece. On the cleverly conceived top floor of the Acropolis Museum in central Athens, visitors can walk around the outside of the Parthenon, or rather, around a display of remnants of the marble figures once adorning the outside of this most accomplished of ancient Greek temples, begun in 447 BC. Viewing this display, you get a true sense of what, in terms of effort and cost, lies behind the textbook enumerations of the Parthenon's vital statistics. A series of sculptured slabs ran right round the temple just below the guttering. Each measured roughly 4 by 4 feet and had figures carved in relief not far off a foot deep. There were 92 of these slabs alone, 92 on the original building, quite apart from a continuous frieze of sculptured figures and massings of fully realized statues in both gables. For the subject matter of these 92 slabs, the Committee of Democratic Citizens in charge of the project approved a choice of 4 stories of warring and mayhem, all set in Greek legendary time. In one story, fantastic creatures, man above, horse below, are shown trampling and throttling nude, perfectly formed Greek men who fight back to victory with bare arms and legs. One slab shows a pointy-eared horseman carrying off a Greek girl who tries to unhand herself from her captor's grasp. A vulnerable breast